Y'all can start whenever.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jacoy, and I'm here with.
Laurencio Ruiz.
And why did you decide to come to Western to grace us with your talents?
Oh, here, well, just happened. So one of my um, new faculty, Lorena Sandoval, contacted me because she was looking for some advice about making a puppet for a show. And then during the conversations, she said, "Hey, Laurencio, why don't make it the way that you can come and no, you made the puppet." I said, "You designed the puppet, I made the puppet." So and then yes, so she sent me the sketches and the director's concept, and for that I started working on a new design for the show because in the beginning they really wanted to have a, and it still is. The original is had three puppeteers in the puppet, but then because the experience I have, I say, well, two puppets inside the puppet is perfect, three is a problem, and four is chaos. So the funny thing is they listen. That's beautiful when the director and the designers listen to you, and and we go to okay, let's do still three puppeteers, but two inside, one to move the tail. So after that, during that process, which was a very short period of time, they learned and suggested instead to give it advisor, they said, why don't make it? And we talked and said, sure, yeah, let's do it. At the same time, why about don't take advantage of your visit and to do two workshops? I said, yes, I am, right? So I started working on that in December. And then, I had to deliver it here a couple of days ago. But I had to finish it here because, as you know, in theater production, I cannot just make a puppet, okay, now you deal with that, right? It's a process in which you have to try it, you have to be fit, make any alterations, modifications, and teach the puppeteers or teach the actors how to be a puppeteer. Because sometimes they think a puppet is a prop and it's not a prop, your puppet is not a costume. So it's their own identity. So always is good to give the actors, the insight about what means to be a puppeteer, what means to be a puppet, especially when it's a large size puppet. So with all that process of thinking and exchange, that's why we decide that the best will be to bring me here. Okay. So I'm very happy to be here. It's a beautiful campus, and I really enjoy working with the director, Ashley, and Lorena, the scenic designer. It was wonderful to work with the students directly to see. I see they are really they don't resist because sometimes actors can be a little bit, I say, picky, difficult, or resist. Always I say resist to try new things. So, but now it's been beautiful, the welcoming, and the how absorbing the knowledge or have all the things you need to know in preparation to be on a stage with a puppet. So,
and what goes into acting with the puppet and also trying to act as an actor on stage?
Okay. Yeah, one thing we talk about it is so the puppet becomes an extension of you. Always I said, it's like, as I said before, this is not pro, it's not custom, but I see it as almost like a music instrument, right? So it's personal. You don't share with that. So always I say the combination between a music instrument and a toothbrush. So you don't share it, but you learn how to bring the best you can with this object, right? So, and also becomes an extension of you. So no longer you projecting your energy for yourself. So now you have to project this energy and to translate it to the puppet. So the puppet speaks for himself from you. So in keeping that in mind, so that means we had to think in a very different way. So even the distance between, how do you react? So many things that we had to go step by step to see, because sometimes they think like it's moving something very fast, right? And it's not that. It's not like that. So always I said everybody can be a puppeteer and anything can be a puppet. So that's why I really, really believe in that. However, so we need to practice. We need to really learn how to, what puppetry, it has something kind of the core of what the, this art form is, which is about subtleties and attention to detail. So if that is, you understand that part, and in the part we are, when you become the puppet, because still we can see you, in the moment, always I said, when you are able to bring this beautiful music for this object, for this puppet, you disappear. And when that happens, it's magical. If the puppeteers, they came to World Workshop and they say, Laurencio, I know what you mean. You disappear totally, right? I'm there with the puppet. But in the way we move it, you bring this object to life with emotions, with some personality. Really, it's amazing in theater. We have said this convention, the theatrical convention, the disbelief, right? Yeah, you are there, but now it's the object who takes the focal point, right? It's beautiful to see because when you are on the other side, you see the audience eyes goes off, and you know, like you got them, right?
Yeah.
So they believe in with you. I with you, in this journey. So that's beautiful to see what happened. I really enjoy so much when that happened. So that's why I try to give you how much I can. I don't mind to share all the knowledge I have, all my personal experience I have as a puppeteer, because I not only make puppets, but also I perform puppets. So I am both sides. I understand. That's why for me, it's important to know the mechanics, but it's important to know the feeling, the motif, the reason you had to make a puppet. What the puppet, what is the driving or actions or emotional connections you have, right? So it's a little bit kind of the actor, and usually in acting training we call it action reaction. In puppetry I call action reaction sound. So even your puppet doesn't produce words, spoken words, it produces sound. So when you have a mute puppet, you create tension. And sometimes if you want it, that's it. But you have to create this sense of to fill the void of silence. So you have to generate sound. Especially when you move the puppet, they need to come from you. When you have another puppeteer who's going to assist you, so still is you who control, or I lead you in charge of the puppet head and one of the hands. So all the sounds need to come from you. With that, really sometimes students or those who go into workshops, they get it right away. Because even sometimes I'm a shy person. But in puppetry, I found that they give me that the agency, and the permission, it's the safe playground for me as a puppeteer to do something that otherwise I cannot do myself. So the puppet allows me to do that because it's an extension of me, but it's the puppet is doing it, not me. It seems puppets they can do whatever we want, right? So I like that. So that's why when I go through these techniques, I try to explain my own experience working with puppets. What is the reaction of the puppet or the audience when I do specific things? So that's why I always rephrase many things and repeat many things to make sure that it's something that we always need to keep in mind when you work with that. At least it's beautiful to hear and to feel that they listen, they absorb the knowledge, they practice that, and it's almost like a self-discover, right? And then they say to you, yes, it is, yeah, it's beautiful to see that. It's not just like talking, but you see the result. They didn't see the result themselves. Yeah.
Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been a puppeteer?
Oh, long time. Yeah, I'm 60.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't have guessed.
So I started making puppets since I was in college. But I was making puppets for other people. In the same time I was doing my college degree, by the way, it was nothing in theater, nothing in puppetry, it was in graphic design. So, but after my first year, I was invited to work with this amazing TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, they call it Witty Witty, which in English is the blah blah. So this is back in Mexico City. So I started working in this TV show, and then in some point we need to make puppets. And then from that, more people start coming because they say, who made these things? So I start making puppets for other theater productions, for TV commercials, and so on. So where everybody was like, hey, can you make something for me? But I never did for myself. It was until when I finished grad school in 2001, I decided to take a break, and I said, I really want to do puppetry. I think poetry, they had this beautiful connection with audience, and for me, puppetry mesmerized people, and for me, it's a beautiful space, or as I said before, it's a safe playground for me as a puppeteer and for the audience to explore new realms, things that can be odd and weird and bizarre, and puppetry allowed me to do that. Then the audience don't feel threatened by that, right? So even it's weird, they still are engaged to know what it is. So for me, that's why I started doing it. And for me, I see also puppetry as a therapy. So I started doing it for myself, especially because all that happened after September 11. I didn't know how to talk about it, how I feel about what happened. And puppetry allowed me to do that. So that's why my first show was based on that. Yeah. And from that, I really found something that I never felt before as an artist. And that gave me a sense of agency. I can talk about things that sometimes otherwise I can. And, and it's really transformative. So that's why from that I started building more shows, mostly for adults or more adult content. But then people ask me, do you have any show for kids? And I started making a show for kids as well. So even I started making something like this bilingual. It's very, very good family-friendly shows and really with audience participation. And they love it. Even the parents or whatever, they want to do that. And it was just it's very simple sketch, but everybody wants to be my right hand or the puppet right hand. Kids or adults, really, it's very simple. I try to do stories from very ordinary life, right? Like just tying your shoe or blowing a balloon or writing or folding paper and cutting. All these things that right now we take it for granted, we do together, know what you do, but then we do it together and they really take you to a different level of experience. Yeah, I can see that. It's still even today I do the same sketch and the same effect is, right? Big eyes, mesmerized, and then they wanted to participate.
Like puppetry engages people.
Yes, that's why I say, everybody can be a puppeteer and anything can be a puppet. So yeah, I try to demonstrate that right there. So I try to demystify this idea. Because one thing I always experience is, especially in theater, in commercial theater, poetry still is kind of seen as a third class. So it's not like so relevant art form. But you see even The Lion King on Broadway, right? With Tamar, it's proof that it's more of that, right? Sometimes I know actors just don't want to be themselves. Sometimes they don't want it to be involved in that or to have that skill. And I said, well, it's also a good thing for you, formation as an actor training. You can use it as a way to learn more things about yourself or explore new things.
Yeah, because you're acting as an actor and then you have to act with this puppet that you have to bring to life as well.
It gives you another perspective about what means acting, what it means feeling, expressing emotions, and connecting with the audience. Those that they try, I can see always they say, yes, I'm glad I did. I didn't even know that. Some of them are so good. So the natural skills of moving the puppet really becomes very natural. But I see those that resist and no, it's not for me. Fine, that's okay. Right? I cannot force you. But you can put it even in your resume now. Right? You can. And maybe they can pay some of the bills. Right? Because there's not many puppeteers that can sing or dance. Right? When you have that background, you add this new thing, boom, they can be a good. It's always I say it would be a good thing
A secret
for
skill.
your professional life, right? To get into whatever you want. So yeah, that's why kind of the motive for that. So.
You make me want to get into puppetry now.
Yeah, at least try once and see what it's like.
So what does a day-to-day look like as a puppeteer?
Yeah, I don't live full-time as a puppeteer. It's a big challenge in these days. But for me, the idea that me as a faculty and my school of theater is promoting and supporting me to teach puppet courses, puppet creation, but also puppet manipulation. So for me, it's a beautiful thing that can happen because it's not many places you can learn these for as a profession. I know UConn, they had a BA in puppetry. Actually, they had a MFA in puppetry, right? So, but I don't know any other university they do this. So for me, I am kind of the rare person outside all these that they teach it with that attention to detail, not with these really, well researched inside of what that means. So, and for that, I'm very lucky that I was able to develop kind of traditional techniques or introduce my own experience into what it is and share that with the rest of my students. Because some of them are for communication or they are interested in film. So I try to support in any capacity, how you can use poetry. I don't know, I went out of your question, but so, but yeah, I hope I answered that question. I probably get lost. I get emotionally involved in my thoughts.
It's okay. I think you answered it though.
Okay.
Let's see. You mentioned that puppetry gave you an opportunity to express yourself. What other ways has it allowed you to express your creativity as you work on projects like this?
Oh, okay. I think it's many levels of that. One is that even we are not the same, we don't have the same interests, or we don't have the same background, but we share the same interests. So that would be the counterpoint to work together and say, hey, let's see what we can do, right? So sometimes like some people, they don't know what I do, and they say, oh, I didn't know you do this, I didn't know you do that too. So always I try to find a way, even especially in theater, that introduce puppetry when it is not being caught in the play. And I see more and more and more that's happening. Because always I give the example of that, the Into the Woods, a musical. The first time it came to Broadway, one of the characters is Milky White, which is a little cow, right? And the first time it was just a prop. It was just a shape or a little cow and wheels, and then we push, because this Milky White never talk. So and they work, and then there were a revival of that on Broadway again, and then it becomes a custom. It was an actor where in this Milky Way and walks, right? And it was funny and really started getting more like people really see it as, oh wow, this is a good potential, right? And the last revival in Broadway, this Milky Way becomes a puppet. And now it really becomes a great success. So it's just seeing this transformation really confirmed that puppetry, they really have their own space of what that means and what it is, and the care and attention they should be, right? So that's why I started doing it. Because even as an artist, when you paint, you are by yourself and it's not moving, it's just right there, right? To look, to contemplate. But puppetry is very performative, and also it's in real time, right? So the only thing you can have for that is just the moment you see and then it's gone, right? Or disappear, or the puppet is being destroyed, whatever it is, right? I like this idea that art, two things, it should be free and it should be ephemeral, right? It doesn't belong to everybody. It's being shared by everybody. And it's shared experience of being there, the togetherness of experience to see the same thing. And we react collectively in a different ways or the same way. I like that experience. For me, that's what I see art they should be, right? To make you think, to make you feel uncomfortable, to make you to be, especially not say critical, but start thinking about it. Maybe you don't understand what the plot is or the story is, and you take it with you until at one moment in life, and it clicks. Oh, I see what it is. I like that. Sometimes for me, I don't see be a puppeteer as just be entertainer, because I have many colleagues or friends they do that for that, and that's fun. I have no interest in that. For me, I see puppetry as an art form. They give me the platform to talk, to analyze, to explore, and maybe with that we are going to be uncomfortable, or maybe we don't like it, or maybe we don't understand, or we enjoy so much, so we never know. But the intention is that for me that's art, what it's supposed to be, right? At least for me, I need that, right? It's not just the beauty and looks beautiful and feel safe, right? Mm-hmm. So, which is okay, but I like to do something that is more living and make you think. Now, for me, that's something I needed for my own work. So that's why when I do shows, my puppet shows, I go through all the process about what I want to do, how I want to do it,
and how the other person feels when they see it.
Yes, right. With the respect or with the challenge, right? But I like that. But just entertain you, just to make you happy, forget about everything. I have, well, that's why I have these little shows for kids. I even the kid show, I know I made the kids go home and try themselves, right? Sometimes even one of my puppets' name is you this, and then some kid when they came home to say, hey, I said, some parents they don't like it, right? I guess, well, it's funny, right? I use onomatopoeic sounds to create names, right? Because the kids also they enjoy eschatology things, and sometimes I can see, they don't take it well, not the kid but the parents, right? But I really try to. I like that challenge, to include it in my shows, even as a kid that is like age appropriate, to really introduce things that usually in a typical or traditional play you don't see it, or a story, right? So because with that, like, just I can tell you one thing. When I was in Prague, doing a workshop in marionettes, there was a festival in the park, and I went to see the show, and it was a story of the three little pigs. In that show, it was for kids. One of the two little pigs died because only the wolf ate them.
Yes.
We don't see how it's being eaten, but you see the ghost of the pig leaving the body, like, oh my God, right? And I was just like, wow, that's awesome, right? And you start hearing kids and seeing kids crying. And then, but the parents, they don't take the kids out, like, they really, they just stay, and they watch the entire show. But for me, it was like, wow, what a wonderful, right? So the kids together as a family, they experience the loss, the death, right? To that level, to tolerance. But it was done in a way you see how emotional the kids were, right? Mm-hmm. But they didn't get afraid of that. So for me, you will see, like, really, they give me some kind of insights about, the culture, and in Europe, at least in Prague, I was interested in how, it was done, and nobody complains, nobody feel offended, they take it, they understand, and they move on.
Right.
Oh, it was, wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Wow, I want to do that, right? So, but yes, so all these things really start adding and just taking note and see what works. Even sometimes my puppets do sign language. So because I really want to more to have experience just visual, but also with touch. So even sometimes you're able to touch the puppets, or sometimes you are able to be part of the show, by be just an extension of the puppet.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's so important in part of my work, right? It's not just passive, right? And a distance between the audience and my work, but it's the experience of sharing, the togetherness, and that we are together in this, right? And then we end with something that we can take it home and we can talk about it. Every time I do a show, all my friends or all my friends, they say, "Hey, welcome to your show." And after the show, we talking with my kids in the car. It's no stop conversation. I said, we never do that. It never happened. And then after the show, we just go home and keep talking. And the next week, we talking about it. Mm-hmm. I said, wow, that's wonderful. Thank you. The cases, I have puppeteers that they come because, especially in the school and the university, I do some casting and nobody comes. I was hoping for actors, nobody. But then I see other kids like, hey, I'm not really an actor, but I'm really interested in Canada. They go, yeah. And then it's beautiful to see that people start coming, for different areas because they want to do that because they know they hear about the title, they are interested about the theme, and they say, okay, let's do it. You don't have to have experience. Let's do you wish. Again, prove you that you can be a puppeteer, right?
Even if you're not even a theater major.
Exactly, and we did. Then I learned because the parents came, college students. The parents came to see the show, and after the show, they came to me and they told me, they said, thank you so much for including my kid because my kid is very shy. He doesn't feel that fit anywhere. He had no friends. He said now they have friends. It's interesting how the parents thanking me like I didn't do anything. Right? They know you did. I feel so good about that. The humanity that you bring with that too, right? It's not only about the show, but it's about the community you create into that. Yeah. For me, that part, I just love it. It's so satisfying to see that. But my work really go beyond or just the classroom, right?
Or beyond the stage.
Or beyond the stage, right? For me, it was beautiful to hear. And not just for one parent, like multiple parents come and to say, hey, the show is great, but I have to tell you, my kid is different. Oh, thank you, really. And even after the show, the students stay together. They stay in contact with each other. They don't feel like they want to quit the college. And they didn't. I was so, wow, I didn't know that, right? All these other things, the personal lives of the students, right? It was beautiful to hear that. And I was, my show, the work I do, reached to that level. I never expected to go that, right? But I take it. So that's why I try to do as many shows in that way, right? So you invite people and we work together and see what happens, right? Even you have some special abilities or special needs, I try to accommodate as much as possible. It's always I try to use, especially at school, always is a teaching moment to say, hey, this is not appropriate. We should really do this way. Or let's support this student, right? Really try to
involve everybody.
You don't compete, right? Because it's not about who is better, right? It's about to help those the struggle. Let's push them in, so it doesn't feel like they don't
They're
belong.
excluded. Yeah,
exactly, because this is not what we are, right? So yeah, I at least I see that what I see is working. Never was my original intention, right? But it's beautiful to see that they will start coming with that. I paying attention in this too. I make sure that. So that's why even when I do the workshops, especially for these two, I make sure again, make clear. Always I use as a teaching moment to say, hey, we are this and this together. Again, I try to even remind myself, right? So even they are not your students or they are not the people you work with, still they deserve to be, to be fully involved in that process, understanding the process and treating with respect and see as an adults, right? And we can talk about things listen. So I want always they know they've been seen. Yeah, I hear them.
Thank you for bringing people together. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your work here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And I'm Jacoy Bell. Now back to the desk.